Guys, and welcome back to the Two Players Podcast, episode 38. Today we're going to be talking about the news, games we've been playing recently, and then we're going to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming in terms of like spoilers and stuff. So first, us to get into the news. The first piece of news is that the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, it has been found that the first game's jump is a little bit off compared to the original game. As a person that did not play the original in like a couple years now, I didn't notice it to begin with, but now that this video and certain other articles have been brought up, it does seem a little bit noticeable. But I mean, what do you think, Damian?
When I played at least through the first one, I don't think I noticed too much in the second one. But when you do jump, sometimes it's a little like you just slip off the platform. Mostly like when you jump on like the very edge of a platform, like he's clearly on the platform, but he like slips off, and that's really annoying. Like I think I can't really base it off anything because I never played the original, but it does feel very like it doesn't feel right. Like jumping itself is fine. I just feel like you sometimes just slip in like a platform, and that's kind of annoying. Yeah. But that's the only thing I could notice because, again, I didn't grow up with Crash, so I can't really tell you the ins and outs of, like, the platforming and stuff. Yeah. So I have some other problems with the game that I'll, say later. But overall, it's great, though. Like, it's a great, like, set of games. But I have some other issues that I'll talk about.
Supposedly there are pill-shaped collision boxes, which seems a little bit weird to choose.
Why would you do that?
Instead of just going with like straight, I guess,
like straight like lines.
Yeah. Now we got these pill shapes, so I do notice sometimes I do fall off sometimes, just because I like slip or something like that. But I'm just like I'll just get better, I guess. But yeah, I do notice that sometimes I do slip off platforms and stuff like that. So
yeah, and it sucks. I mean, I don't think they can, because that seems like something that's really built in, but whatever. So Avengers 4 is going to end the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or at least the movie arc, and Spider-Man Homecoming 2 is going to like start a new period. So that's interesting. So it looks like they're going to end this arc and then go to another arc with like, I guess Spider-Man maybe being more of a focus. I'm not too sure. 22 movies? Holy
yeah. 22 movie story arc. So I'm assuming now they're gonna go into like a different arc with like the Marvel universe or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what they would do.
They're probably not gonna focus on the original Avengers anymore. Probably focus on like some new heroes, so like Spider-Man and some other ones that they're probably gonna introduce later. So that's cool. I mean, it's about time. Like they're gonna fight Thanos and stuff, which is probably what Avengers 4 is gonna be. But I don't know. Are you excited for this? I'm pretty excited to see it actually ending.
Yeah, because we've been building up Thanos for like so long, and the fact that we get a conclusion after Avengers 4 is nice to know. Because it was teased since the first Avengers, and I was like, oh shoot, it's gonna be like in the second Avengers movie, but now it was like Ultron, and that movie was okay. It didn't do anything spectacular, but the fact that they are ending it and they have bigger plans with the Marvel Cinematic Universe now that they do have Spider-Man and all these other heroes lined up. So I am excited that they are finally ending it and then starting it anew with the sequel to Homecoming, which I think is fitting. Anyways. So
yeah, because Spider-Man is a big new hero. He's finally starting to get in there, and I think starting like off the new like I guess cinematic universe with Spider-Man's pretty smart, since he's a pretty popular hero, and it just got the rights back, so it's well for a time. So hopefully they could do something good with that, because as we will talk about later, Homecoming was really good.
So yes, it was.
I have a lot of faith in it.
Alright, so next piece of news is that there will be no game over screens within Super Mario Odyssey, which I kind of expected this, because when you would fall off of like a level or something like that, you would just lose coins. So I expected that there would be like no lives or a game over screen to begin with. So after playing Crash Bandicoot, no game over seems to be pretty nice right now.
Yeah, because after playing Crash, even though it's not too hard in each game to like get 99 lives, you could do something to get like 99 lives. It's still like pointless. It's like, what's the point of this? What's the point of just grinding for lives? There's no point. That's why a lot of modern platformers, when you die, you just like
go back to the checkpoint or whatever.
Yeah, go back to the checkpoint and then like keep going. But there's no real point in game over. It's just a waste of time. So
it just adds a unnecessary level of challenge to some, I would say.
Yeah, it's like there's no, and a lot of games have Nintendo was like one of the few that still had like lives and stuff. So I'm glad that they're finally taking it out with Mario Odyssey, and I think it just makes it less frustrating, and like you can, I feel like you can actually make harder levels without being like the player being really mad, because you don't have to like go back and like do the level up to that point again. You could just, you know, keep doing that over and over like a Meat Boy. Like there's a reason why there's no lives in Meat Boy, else you'll like want to like actually destroy your computer. Like so I think it's smart, you know. I hope they actually make some really challenging levels now with that in mind, because we don't have game overs anymore. So I think it's just smart. It's just how fucking like platformers evolve.
It's just a good move by them to go and go with what everyone else is doing instead of trying to do their own thing, I guess.
Yeah, it just makes sense. But yeah, there you go, Nintendo's learning. And speaking of learning, Splatoon 2 Direct, we didn't really get much here. It was mostly just explaining like different like how things work, which is pretty interesting. The only downsides I really had with this was I don't know why they put that PvE mode, the Salmon Run. I have no idea why it's only on set times of day, and I think it's only active like 3 days of the week or something. Like it's every other day of the week or something. Yeah, it's really dumb.
I don't know why there's like only certain modes active for the
game. And I think the game still only has 2 maps in like a 2-hour rotation, I think still. That's really dumb. I don't know why those 2 things are like that. Like that should not be like that at all. But it is, and that sucks. But besides that, you know, to show new weapons, to show new like Squid Sisters sort of, and that was cool. Not a whole lot of like information, except there's gonna be a Splatfest before the game comes out on
tomorrow.
The 15th. So tomorrow. So we're gonna be playing that probably, and you know, giving our thoughts when we play it, you know, in the next podcast. And probably the game's gonna come out by then anyway. So
yeah, I think it is actually.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool that they're having a Splatfest, and they said they want to keep having Splatfest for like 2 years. So that's a lot more than the first one, because I think the only one for like 1.5 years or something. So.
I actually didn't watch this direct at all.
Oh, you did it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I did it. I actually planned on watching it before the podcast, but I was watching someone else play Life is Strange, which I'll talk about later, I guess.
I do that a lot too. I watch like 2 playthroughs after I finish it. But yeah, that's basically what the show. It's just like just more of the little ins and outs and how some systems work. It wasn't that exciting. It was mostly just
I didn't see much about it in terms of the direct. Like this was, I think this year I missed this direct and like that mini Pokemon direct that they showed us.
Yeah, that one wasn't that. It was just like, you know, so, I don't think I watched the full one of that either. So
yeah, I don't think I missed much, but I really don't know why they keep doing like the certain times you get to play this mode and like this map and stuff like that. Like I feel like that they should definitely take, I guess, the Call of Duty route where it's like you can select whatever mode you want and all the maps are available. But Kovi pointed this out, one of our friends. He said that like some of those may be like abandoned. There might not be a lot of players there. Well, if there's not a lot of players there, just play the other modes, right? Or something like that, I would say. Because like just having it open for like 2 hours at a time for like certain maps and certain modes just seems so stupid to me.
It's really dumb. Like I still don't know why. One good thing they are doing is in ranked mode, all these separate game modes have their own rank. So if you if you suck at doing one thing, it won't really affect your rank for another thing you're good at. So that's okay.
Yeah,
I like that. But
or they should just make a mode or rank mode for each game type. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
that too. I don't know. Like Nintendo, this like, you know, I guess they're still new at this, even though it's 2017, and they should really understand how to do this sort of stuff by now. But you know, whatever. I think Splatoon's still gonna be great, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
it's probably still gonna do really, really well. But I decided to go and make that little rant there. But next piece of news is that Ni no Kuni 2 has been delayed to 2018. I actually completely forgot this game was supposed to come out this year in like November.
I keep forgetting. Like I thought, wasn't this supposed to come out like last year, then like this year, then like now it's next year? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was delayed once before. Maybe it was. I'm not exactly sure, but
I can't remember.
Yeah, this game got delayed. Personally, I own the game. I heard that it's really good, but I have yet to touch it because it's an RPG that's like really long, so it's pretty daunting to me to start. So I mean, do you have any experience with Ni no Kuni?
I played like the first like dungeon, and it's fun. It is a little like janky with the how the like, I guess, Pokemon or whatever they're called work, like the little monsters you control. But besides that, it's okay. It looks really pretty too. It's kind of hard too. Like I got my ass kicked like a few times. It's pretty hard, but it's fun. I need to play the full thing on full. I mean, full thing on full. Well, I need to play the full game like to the end because I heard it's pretty good. But
yeah,
there's some problems I think some people had with it, but it's pretty nice. I like it a lot. All right, so Smash Bros. Evos would be on Disney XD.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last year's Evo, I think we covered it, is that Street Fighter was going to be on ESPN, which I did watch some of it on there.
Yeah.
And now Smash 4 is going to be on Disney XD. And if you were to ask me what channel a Smash Bros. Final would be on, I would definitely say like Disney or Nickelodeon or some shit. But I guess Disney XD is fine. I don't know.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it honestly is a little weird. Like, I woke up this morning and then I saw a lot of people just like, yo, Disney XD's having the Smash 4 finals. I was like, what is this? And D1's going to be casting it on Disney XD. So if, to those that like D1 casting Smash Brothers, you know, he will be on there. So this is very interesting. It's nice to know that esports and Smash Brothers in general is being recognized outside of just the internet. So I mean, if you want to watch it on Disney XD, you can now. So,
yeah, it's weird that it's on. I get it because it's Smash and it's more kid friendly, so they could put it on Disney XD. While Street Fighter is like, yeah, this is like the hardcore fighting game community game, so that's why it's on ESPN and stuff. But I guess they could put it on ESPN. I mean, I don't know. It's weird because it's Smash. You know, you got like Mario beating up Link or something. Like it looks weird. I don't know. I guess it's okay. Like. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I'm glad it's on TV, I guess.
Yeah, same. Like, I'm glad that it's getting more exposure outside of the internet, and the fact that it's on Disney XD is a bit strange and, you know, a bit goofy, but you know, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting. It's very funny.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
so now let's get into games we've been playing recently. So I'll start first because I have a couple of other games other than Crash. So I'll start with those. I finished Firewatch, and if you're watching this on Saturday the 15th, I probably have a review on it out. And yeah, it's a pretty good game. It's mostly just a walking simulator with you picking a couple choices here and there. And you just uncover like this weird story about like the forest itself, like the past behind it and other people who have been a part of, you know, this Firewatch sort of thing. So yeah, I did like the game. It's only like 3 hours long, so it's not that long to begin with. So if you're into like story-driven based games and don't mind just like walking around and trying to discover what happens within the game, this might be your type of game. So, and then I randomly played Knack because my brother was downloading something and I couldn't play League or like anything else or like watch a stream or anything like that. So I was like, guess I'm gonna play my PS4. And at first I was playing Crash and I was like, man, why am I playing this like for the third time over or whatever? So I decided to play some Knack, and there are definite issues with it, so maybe I'll do a review on it, but basically it's a decent platformer, but it doesn't have an identity for itself. Like, the combat is literally just you mashing square, the platforming is not that hard, and then like the enemies, like most of them take more than one hit, but the ones that do take more than, or the ones that do take one hit to kill, you also take one hit to kill at that point, if you know what I'm saying. Because like Knack, he'll like get these I forgot what they're called, these relics, and then he'll turn bigger. So and then when that happens, the enemies will get harder, and Knack will just pretty much die in one shot or two, and there's no invincibility frames when you get hit, so that's a bit frustrating, and also bad checkpoints too. So like there's a lot of issues with this game, and I hope that they address them in the sequel. But yeah, I do plan on doing a game review on it or something like that later.
Yeah, I did play a little, like when the PS4 first came out, there was demos on Best Buy. I remember playing, was it hard for you, that game? Did you finish it? Or
Nah, I didn't finish it yet. I'm playing it on normal too. So like easy mode is labeled as like if you don't play games that often. I'm like, I play games a lot. So I did normal, and I can't imagine what hard's like, cuz like whether they make the enemies do more damage or they take more damage, I don't know which one would be more frustrating, but yeah, Knack is definitely a flawed game, I would say.
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating when I was playing a little demo of it. It was just like not that fun. So I was just like, oh god. But you know, hopefully the second one does better. I mean, it looks kind of the same.
There's like co-op in it too, so
yeah,
that could be interesting for like
that
YouTubers.
Could be hilarious. Yeah.
And then I played Friday the 13th a little bit more. I only got to play as the counselors, and pretty much that game, at this point, it's like whether people are willing to communicate or like, because like when I'm not communicating, it's because I don't have anything on me. But like when I find like the car keys, I'm like, I got the keys or something like that, you know, I just say that quickly in chat. But people who just like don't communicate or like do their stuff on their own are gonna like get themselves killed, obviously. So like when you're the counselor, you definitely have to work together. And then playing as Jason, I didn't play as Jason over the past 2 weeks. I only played the game once. But you know, I'm pretty sure Jason's pretty much the same thing. You just run around and kill people or whatever. And then obviously I played League. Yesterday I got promoted to D3. Now I'm D4 again, sadly. But hopefully I am able to climb back. At this point, I think it's just me having to, I guess, land all my skill shots and just like play just a little bit better. But it's also like I just get like some like really bad teammates that shouldn't be, you know, in this elo, because like some of them just don't know what macro play is at this point, I think. Because it's like our top laner, he's on the other side of the map when their top laner's splitting, and I get he's stronger than you, but you have to contest him. So yeah, it's just stupid mistakes by bad players that just cost us the game sometimes. But you know, take what you can, I guess. So now I guess we could talk about Crash, because I think that's the only game you played, right?
Yeah, about.
So last time when I talked about Crash, I only finished the first game, and I was only a little bit into the second game. So I finished the second game, finished the third game, and then after that I was like, oh wait, I didn't record any of this, because you know I was gonna do a game review on it. So I went back into all of the games and I finished all of them. So I pretty much played the game 2 times over. Obviously did not 100% just like play through all of the levels, try to get as many boxes as I can. But yeah, the game is pretty good. I really do like it. Even if you haven't played Crash, which I'm pretty sure Damian can attest, is that it's still like a pretty good trilogy, you know, I would say.
Yeah, I actually think it did age pretty well. Like I maybe the first one a little less, but I think they're well. Like I played them and had a lot of fun. So I think you just gotta be prepared for it to be a little hard, like a little harder than you're probably used to a platformer being like nowadays. It's probably harder than any Mario game you've probably played.
Yeah.
So
you just have to put the game in the context of being in the late 90s. You know, the first Crash came out in 1996, I believe. So you just have to like put that mindset when you're playing Crash 1. You're just like, this game came out in the late 90s, so it's probably going to be really difficult. But yeah, just playing the trilogy 2 times over, it was just really fun. Like I honestly did not mind having to re-jump into the first, second, and third game just to like record footage, because all of those games are pretty fun. So yeah, you know, just a solid 3D platformer trilogy, I would say.
I do have a problem with like the hitboxes. Like I'm not talking about platformers. I'm just talking about Crash's actual hitbox. Because I feel mostly during the first final boss, like the first game's final boss.
Oh yeah,
I did not get hit at all, and I got hit. I'm like nowhere near the orb, and the orb like hits me.
It's death perception, I would say, because like in some of those cave levels or whatever, like those, I don't even know what to call them, but basically those levels where you have to like predict where you're gonna jump, sort of, because of how the levels laid out. Because yeah, like those levels are definitely like depth perception issues there. And also with the final boss, like when I was playing the final boss at the Aeon whatever, I could not like yell or scream, obviously, so I was just like getting mad at myself. I was like, god damn it, dude, like I got hit by this stupid fire shot that I should have spun, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's just that could be a little frustrating. Like sometimes I feel like I shouldn't get hit at all, and I got hit, and I'm like, I hate that so much. But besides that, like, I feel like that's my main problem. Oh, and the loading times are a little annoying.
Oh yeah, the loading times are a bit long, but you know, it's whatever. It's like 2017. You could go on your phone, check social media, or whatever, you know.
Like I don't mind. They're not even long. It's just there's a lot of them. Like,
yeah, there is a lot of them. Like when you exit a level, there's one, and then when you enter a level, there's one. So there is a lot of downtime, I would say. Yeah. But if you're just down to like check your phone once in a while, you know. It's whatever.
I mean, it's not that bad, but you know, it's still a little annoying. But besides that, I think the game looks beautiful. Like all the games look great.
Yeah.
They play all really well. Mostly the second one. Like it's so good to have that slide.
Yeah, like, that slide jump. Some Call Me Johnny said when he was playing it on SGB, he was like, man, having the slide jump in Crash 1 would have been so great. Like they could have definitely done that as like a end game sort of thing. Like after you finish Crash 1, they could have added the slide jump to like improve the time trials, because supposedly from Johnny and Matt, they said like the time trials weren't done as well. Like they felt kind of rushed, I think they said something like that.
Really?
Something along those lines, because like they felt like some of the time trials were just like, I guess, too restrictive in terms of like what they were asking for in terms of like the times and stuff. So, I mean, I guess that's a small issue, I guess, if you're into those time trials and whatnot. But, you know, overall, still a pretty good trilogy on the PS4.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, I still have the third one to beat, but
Yeah.
it was great. I love it.
The third one's definitely the easiest one, I would say. But it has a lot of, like, non-platforming levels, too, so...
Yeah, I'll say overall the first one's the hardest, but the second one does have a lot of dick levels in it. Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, like all the ice levels I hate. Like, these suck so much. I hate them a lot. But the first one overall is pretty hard. I didn't have one single game over in the first one though. The second one I had a few, but
wait, you actually didn't get a game over in the first game?
No, I did not get a game over.
You didn't get a game over, not even on the bridge, like both
nope,
of those. Holy.
Yeah, because I farmed 99 lives.
Oh, okay, I see. So you cheated, all right.
I wanted a trophy too.
I mean,
well, what you got? It wasn't that bad.
When I played it the second time, I actually didn't get a game over on Crash 1 either. So, yeah, but that's because I learned, I learned how to do those platforms and shit. So
yeah, most of the levels in Crash 1 aren't bad. It's like the one like slippery whatever it sucks. Like I hate that one. Yeah. But I have like 92% of the first one. Like only need a few more crystals. God. Yeah. Like all I need is like that slippery climb or whatever to get the color crystal. Mm-hmm. The dark level, like I forgot what it's called. That one doesn't look that bad. And like the second to last level, like the lab or whatever. Mm-hmm. I need like the color crystal on that one too, but those two aren't bad. The slippery climb thing sucks because it's just horrible.
Yeah,
it's like some like Kaiser Mario stuff. Like I jump on these birds and like
the first checkpoint's like super far too, and then if you die, you still have to like exit then go back restart. In. So yeah. I wish they added a restart button. Like that would have been great.
I wish there was a restart button. I have no idea why there's no restart button. Yeah, it's so annoying to quit and then go back to the level and like ugh.
Mm-hmm. Like that would have been a nice feature to add, but whatever. It's still a good trilogy, I guess.
It's still great. I think
small nitpicks.
Yeah, I think if you've never played Crash or you want to like have the nostalgia again, I think it's pretty well. Like just get it. Like it's good.
Yeah.
I think $40 is a good price for it too.
$40 too, so it's not that bad. All right, so I guess we can now talk about Spider-Man: Homecoming and. Alright, so basically the movie's really good. If you like Tom Holland when he was in Captain America Civil War, you will like him in this movie a lot. And the movie overall, if you're fine with all of the changes that they did with not having Harry but instead of Ned and other stuff that I won't spoil right now, but this is going to be our spoiler talk we're going to talk about for I don't even know how long. But yeah, so basically let's talk about the movie first, like how our general opinions are, then we'll go into certain characters and certain plot twists and stuff like that. So how did you like the movie, Damian, since I saw it twice, so I'll get into my experience with that after you.
Yeah, I loved it. I think it was the best Spider-Man like we've seen. I think it's better. I think it's on par with Spider-Man 2 with the original, like, not the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but the original Spider-Man 2. With Tobey Maguire. I also think he is one of the best Spider-Mans, like probably portrayed.
He's probably the best Spider-Man we've seen.
Yeah, because Andrew Garfield, he was a good Spider-Man, but he was not a good Peter Parker at all. He was too cool to be a Peter Parker.
Yeah, and, basically.
Tobey Maguire, again, he was just weird. Like, I don't know. It's just something about him. Like, it just like doesn't feel right. I feel like he really nailed what Spider-Man's supposed to be, mostly with the younger, I guess, age of being 15 and in high school, actually still in high school, which is obviously more like a Ultimate Spider-Man in that sense. But yeah, I think he's a great Spider-Man, and I'm really glad they found him. I mean, isn't this like his first actual like big thing?
Yeah, I think that this was his actual like first big movie, other than Civil War, obviously.
Yeah,
but like his first big star, I would say, because like before then, I think he did like theater and all this other stuff. But yeah, this was his first big role, and he nailed it as Peter Parker, obviously, and. I saw it twice, so the second time I saw it with you, and the first time I saw it was on Thursday night before it was actually like released, and yeah, it was great because I saw it with a full packed theater. All seats were filled up basically, and it was great. Hearing everyone laugh at the same jokes that I was laughing at and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a great movie. I loved what they did with this Spider-Man movie. They did certain things differently, like. For example, obviously the origin story's not there, and then they changed up certain characters and stuff like that. Like I had no problem with these changes, but some people did have some issues with this. So yeah, I honestly like this movie. And then the second time seeing it, I was just like, I want to go and make sure that this is like my favorite Spider-Man movie out of all of them, because I like the Sam Raimi movies, the original Spider-Man trilogy, and then the Amazing Spider-Man. I was very optimistic about it. The first one I like. I will still hold my opinion on that, but the second one, I don't know, man. It was just such a cluster of just a movie itself because they were trying to jam pack so much stuff into it to like
it's
build
like
up.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
like,
basically they were or yeah, in some ways. Some ways,
you
yeah.
cluttered too much stuff into one thing, like the whole Harry thing being like, you know, Green Goblin, whatever.
And then
I'm
just
like,
him killing Gwen, just to kill Gwen, to go.
Yeah, there's like too much stuff right at the end. It's like that's
Yeah.
exactly what the third one did with like Venom and like the whole like everything else. And like stop.
Yeah.
It's too much.
But yeah, the second Amazing Spider-Man just had that problem with too much, and then just trying to build up to a much bigger, I guess, you know, movie series or whatever, cinematic universe. Everyone got to have one of those. And then this one, they were able to just start off fresh, you know, and the fact that Peter is much younger that he's much newer to being Spider-Man, I think is a great aspect of this movie. So, and then the fact that Tony Stark made the suit, I think added a lot to this movie, honestly.
Yeah. I also feel like they didn't really overuse Tony Stark too much.
Yeah,
it was mostly just him
too.
being like a father figure to Peter Parker mostly, which I'm glad. Like he saved the day once, Tony Stark, with the whole boat thing.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, he didn't really do much else besides like give, you know, pep talks to Peter, or like, you know, sort of scold at him when he was like doing stuff without telling him and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that worked pretty well. Like it worked for him being like the mentor to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really overuse them. Like, I thought they were really just gonna be like, all right, Iron Man's here, save Spider-Man or whatever. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But they didn't really do that. They did
because
once,
in the second trailer, which I think is where everyone started to worry about Tony Stark, the ending scene for that trailer was Iron Man and Spider-Man flying off together. So like a lot of people worried that like, oh no, please not Iron Man 4 or something like that. But he was used really well. Like he was there when he needed to be, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And you know, just the many scenes with the suit, you know, him trying to figure out a name for the suit, you know, Karen or whatever. And then the interrogation mode, and then lethal mode, and all those other, you know, things that are within the suit that he found out after Ned, I guess, unlocked the suit for him. And speaking of Ned, what did you think about them getting rid of Harry and having this new character, Ned, you know, sort of appear?
I think he's fine. Like, obviously, he doesn't have the main. He's not as important as Harry, obviously, because Harry is like a big, important like character. But I think he's fine as just being like a friend character and being comic relief and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't that obnoxious or anything or too annoying, and he's not like Harry, where he's just like mostly like a plot device and stuff. So he's just there, and I think that's okay. I think it's alright just to have like that friend character that doesn't really do anything. I don't know if they're even gonna introduce Harry in this like series.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that are like sort of up in the air. Like, are they gonna introduce Harry? Are they still gonna have Gwen or Mary Jane? You know, all of like the staple Spider-Man characters. Are they still gonna be here? Because, you know, with new characters like Ned and Michelle, who I guess at the end she sort of said, "My friends call me MJ," which a lot of people immediately was like, "Why is she Mary Jane?" But like, what I think is gonna happen is that she's just like Michelle J something.
Yeah,
you know?
no, yeah. Her name, she's not Mary Jane. It's just
obviously,
you know, the initials make MJ, and that's just like, you know, a little cute tie-in or whatever. So yeah, there you go. I think people are overreacting too much about that. And speaking of her, I think she was a pretty cool character too.
Yeah, I really did like her. The fact that she was very cynical or like
she's very cynical like and like she's like, you know, like whatever and stuff. Like that. I mean, I thought it was good. You know, obviously it's like sort of an overdone character trait at this point, but I think it worked out okay.
It definitely worked for her, especially when Peter was walking into Homecoming and then she just stuck the middle finger at him. That was so good.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, I liked it like a lot. Oh, and Vulture was actually a good villain.
Vulture. Like, how could we forget about Vulture? Yes.
Because I feel like he wasn't evil for the sake of being evil.
Yeah, he had a reason.
Evil. Yeah, it was mostly just to support his family because everyone's like screwing him over. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna sell these weapons because to make me, like, you know, I could pay the bills with it. And he's not necessarily evil. Even at the end, where he could have just killed Spider-Man, he just kind of just flew off with the stuff because he wanted to get those parts back. But, you know, then Spider-Man saved him in the end because like his wings exploded.
Yeah.
But it really just shows that he doesn't really want to kill anyone. He kind of just wants to sell stuff so he could get the money for his family. And I think, and he didn't die.
Yes,
Like
he
a Marvel
didn't
villain did
die.
not die. So I'm like, look at that. They actually did it. Like they made a pretty good villain. And it's Vulture. Like who? Like why? It's like, all right, I didn't
Yeah.
expect out of all the Spider-Man
turned
like villains.
they turned this villain that's like pretty goofy in like the comics and stuff into like a really compelling villain that like the watchers and viewers could actually care about, you know. Like when it was revealed that he was Liz's dad, I was like,
yeah, that plot twist is
shit.
really good.
My God, that was definitely the biggest plot twist of the movie, and I think no one saw that coming. No one saw that coming at all, and yeah, it really did tie his arc together, I would say. Like Michael Keaton as the Vulture was really good, and
Yeah.
he just made us want to care about the character, especially when it was revealed what his motive was. You know, like, I just want to support my family and all this other stuff, not just, oh my God, Tony Stark took my job and, you know, I invested so much, I just want to sell stuff and steal things. You know, he didn't do that without a purpose, obviously. So I really did like that they tied it in all together, and that scene with Peter just staring at him, man, like it just gave it away pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like this movie was great. Like most of these superhero movies always have some world-ending event at the end, and then the hero has to save it, and everyone's saved. I feel like with this movie, it's very a small-scale thing. Like even if Vulture got away, like yeah, like New York's gonna have like super thugs with like super weapons, but it's like it's not like some like how most of these like movies have like the swirly vertex of death with the beam and like
Yeah,
it's like everyone's gonna die,
like a
like Suicide
Guardians
Squad
and
or
stuff.
whatever. Like yeah, this movie didn't do that. It just has it's very like this one fight and like there you go. It's like not the whole city's gonna die. It's just like this one little area, and I
Yeah.
like that. It's a lot more smaller scale, like
Especially
Spider-Man is.
with a new superhero like Spider-Man, especially since he is starting out, you know, as just being Spider-Man, because like he was harassing Happy, which he was great in this movie.
Yeah,
You know,
he's
just
pretty
like
fun.
over and over again, like, hey man, I'm ready, I'm ready.
Yeah,
So yeah, I really did like that aspect. I think another character that we should definitely talk about is Flash. Um,
yeah.
so what did you think about Flash? Because some people are definitely very conflicted with him. I thought that he was fine,
I thought he was
honestly.
fine too. He's fine. Like he's always meant to be like that bully anyway, and I think he did an okay job at that. And he's still like he's pretty insecure still. Like I like how this movie portrayed teenagers too. Like not everyone's super one. Like everyone's awkward because that's what everyone is when they're a teenager. Everyone's awkward.
Hmm.
So it's like they really portray that really well of everyone being kind of like a loser. Even he was like like he's
Yeah.
just like whatever.
I really
So I don't know. I think
did like that they made Flash like a nerd, because like he was with you know, Liz and Peter, you
yeah,
know,
like
within that clique. So that was very cool, I thought. Some people just think that it's pretty dumb because you know, when I think of Flash, he's supposed to be like the big old jock and, you know, the bully, obviously, but I think that it was fine here,
but I'm
honestly.
fine with not having one-dimensional characters like
Yeah.
that anyway. So, but I don't know. I think it was fine. I liked him.
But yeah, is there anything else we should talk about? I mean, Liz was sort of just like the pretty girl, I think.
Yeah,
Like, she didn't have much. Go on.
just
You could
didn't
say.
go away. So
No.
it was mostly like Michelle was meant to be the actual love interest that in the later following sequel or whatever.
Maybe.
But but besides that, I don't know. I feel like the movie did what Guardians 1 did for me, where it really combines the comedic and like action like really well.
Hmm.
Like I haven't felt this way since Guardians 1, and that's really good. Like a really fun movie, but it still has like a story to tell, and it's like it's still funny, but it also has a lot of action, which is what I wanted Guardians 2 to also be, but it was mostly based on comedy, which is fine. But I didn't really care too much about the story because it's sort of predictable. This one I felt like really combined those two together pretty well, and like Guardians 1 did. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just happy that we got another movie like that.
Hmm. All right. Well, I think we should talk about that after credit scene a little bit.
Which one?
Uh,
The one with Scorpion or the one with
the
Sketch?
first one, the first one.
Okay.
So a lot of people have pretty much said that, you know, the Vulture not giving away who Spider-Man was pretty much him, I guess, doing Peter a favor for saving his own life, and when
And
the
his
Vulture
daughter.
does get out, you know, he will do his revenge and all this other stuff.
I don't know if he'll do revenge on him. Like, he might, because, he still threw him in jail. Yeah. But I think, he still saved his life and his daughter's life. I think there is, like, a bit of respect there. Like, I don't know if he's going to, like, team up with, like, like, the other villains and, do Sinister Six or whatever. But, obviously in that post-credit scene, I also see Scorpion there because he had a Scorpion tattoo. But, he was talking to him. He's like, yo, do you know the Spider-Man's identity, right? He's like, not. Like, if I knew him, he'll be dead. I think Khan just walked away. So that's nice. That's a nice thing for Vulture to do. But, so they're probably hinting at that Scorpion's probably going to be the next villain for the next movie. So that's cool. And then the next after credit scene was
that second after credit scene. I think
Captain America trolling.
I think if it was, like, anything else, people would still be excited. But, this one was just a nice, funny one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they're running out of things to put because, they don't really have.
They don't want to tease too much, but supposedly, for the San Diego Comic-Con, they're gonna reveal a lot of Marvel stuff, and Mark Ruffalo, the actor who plays Hulk, said that it's it's gonna blow people's minds or something like that. So.
Snap! They always say that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's all I had to say. It was great.
Oh, what about Donald Glover? I almost forgot.
Who?
Donald Glover, his character.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I also didn't tell you this, but he's supposed to be Miles Morales' uncle when he says, like, I got a nephew or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I completely forgot to tell you that afterwards. But yeah, it's really nice how Marvel's, like, tying everything together. So, yeah, I definitely think Donald Glover did his part, and he had a nice performance here and stuff. So
yeah, he did. He was very funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all we have to talk about. Maybe we missed something. I don't know. But yeah, that is our spoiler talk for Spider-Man Homecoming. Thank you guys for listening to the Two Players podcast once again. We see you guys 2 weeks from now with the next episode.
Later.